South Jersey. This is Game Night with Josh Hennig.
Let's go!
On 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app.
Let's go!
Now live from inside the Ocean Casino Resort Studio, here's Josh Hennig.
Josh Hennig coming at you on a Monday with some big news from around the Philadelphia sports landscape to get into here on 97.3 ESPN. Got a busy hour coming up here, and don't forget your next opportunity to qualify for your chance to win Phillies opening day tickets or tickets to go see Metallica at Lincoln Financial Field is coming up in about 55 minutes from now. Less than that, actually, when you really want to break it down, but it's going to be near the end of the hour, of course. Congratulations to Glenn in Northfield and all the qualifiers throughout the day today who have qualified. We're going to get into the Eagles. They made a move today. And I'm going to tell you why this might be the Zack Baun move from last year that people don't see coming. Plus, we have some breaking news with the Philadelphia 76ers, and we will get into that as well here on 97.3 ESPN. And coming up in less than 40 minutes from now, we will be joined by Absegami High School graduate and undefeated heavyweight fighter Bruce Seldon Jr. He is back in action this Saturday at Tropicana in Atlantic City for the next big event by Boxing Insider Promotions at Tropicana Showroom in Atlantic City with 5 undefeated New Jersey fighters all in action this Saturday. Of course, get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. All right, so I will get to the Eagles news because to me, the Eagles news is pretty interesting. But the breaking news that just popped off roughly 5 minutes ago, okay? Shams Charania of ESPN, their big breaking news reporter, he has put out that Paul George has received injections into his left adductor muscle and his left knee on Monday and has been ruled out for the rest of the season. George is expected to miss at least 6 weeks due to the injections. So, couple of quick pointers here to hit on when it comes to this. Number one, I am not a doctor, and I didn't stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night. But I think anyone who knows even a little bit about how this stuff worked, right? If you followed sports long enough, knows. If you're getting an injection and you can't come back anytime soon, the injury is probably serious, okay, is number one. Now, it's obviously not serious enough that he couldn't have been back for the postseason. Because if you look at what 6 weeks are from now, you're looking at mid to late April for a return. So if the Sixers were on their way to the postseason, he theoretically could have been back. You know, again, I'm doing quick math off the top of my head. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He could have been around maybe the second round of the postseason. But because the Sixers season is going down the tubes really fast, and Paul George has been an extreme disappointment this year. The combination of those two is the bigger reason why Paul George has been ruled out. It's not just the injuries, it's the fact that the injuries and how the season has gone. Now, what I find interesting about this report is we already knew about some of this, right? We already knew that we knew that Paul George had the left knee issue. He's been dealing with that for months now, okay? That part is nothing new at all. What's new about this is the left adductor. And that kind of goes back to the other reports from a couple months ago when you looked at the story about how Paul George is taking injections just so he can play. And at that point, that's what people like myself were saying here on 97.3 ESPN FM, the 97.3 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Seattle. And we are live on my YouTube channel at Josh Hennig. You can check out the Ocean Casino Resort Studios right behind me. When the news came out months ago that Paul George basically shouldn't even be playing because he was so banged up, you knew that this season was cooked. For a guy who already has a history of injuries, does Paul George, to now all of a sudden have to get his special injections and he can't play for 6 weeks at minimum, goes to tell you that he was way more injured and way more banged up than anyone realized. And there were people who suspected it, people who have played with Paul George have gone on interviews and podcasts and different shows and said, that's not the Paul George I know. He don't look right. We knew that there was that out there. And I'm sure that Paul George coming out and saying, I'm going to end my podcast, I'm going to focus on the season, was definitely a red flag to some people. I didn't read that much into it, but now looking back on it, I'm really starting to wonder, did Paul George stop the podcast because he wanted to focus on basketball? Or did he stop the podcast because he realized that he was on a train to nowhere and that he needed to separate himself from the public eye? And now him being ruled out for the rest of the season gives him another opportunity to separate himself from the public eye. Now, I'm not going to be the person who goes out of my way and says, this means they're going to trade him. I think that he was going to get potentially traded 50-50 no matter what after this year. But for him to have 2 different injuries now that he has been ruled out for the rest of the season. We knew with the left knee, but now we get the left adductor muscle. So now we have a guy who already had an injury history, right? Who turns 35 years old in 2 months, less than 2 months. You just have to wonder, how committed are the 76ers as an organization, right? As a collective, how committed are they to Paul George beyond this year? Just based on statistics alone, this was the worst year of Paul George's career since he suffered a major injury in the 2014-15 season. And remember, that was the injury that was gruesome, and everyone was like, oh, I can't believe that happened. Remember, it's been a while since he has not averaged at least 20 points per game in a season. He is having career lows in multiple categories. So obviously this injury was more serious than we were led on to think. It was more serious than Paul George wanted us to think. And now we are sitting here having to basically hope for the best. The Sixers know how to lose long term in order for them to get a draft pick that, frankly, nobody thought they were going to need before the season began. So, Paul George news, while it's not necessarily a shocker, it is more of a another chapter in the failed season of the 76ers. You spend over $200 million on a guy, and he gets injured. So that's the Paul George news. Again, Paul George done for the year. He got special injections into his knee and his left adductor, and he will not be allowed to play basketball for at least 6 weeks. All right? On the flip side, while the Sixers can't do anything right, the Eagles might have struck gold again. And that being former New York Giants pass rusher and University of Georgia product, Azeez Ojulari, has signed a 1-year, $2 million contract with the Philadelphia 76ers. The Philadelphia Eagles. And I asked the question, Could this be the Zack Baun move? Moving forward. By the way, the Eagles just made another move. We'll get to Ojulari in a minute, but a little breaking news here on 97.3 ESPN. The Eagles have reworked Lane Johnson's contract. Footnote again. He is now going to earn an extra $8 million over the next 10 years and $30 million in guarantees. The soon-to-be 35-year-old will now earn $48 million over the next 2 years, $40 million guaranteed. So, again, we're getting back into Philadelphia is choosing to take care of their stars and their studs over guys who are less important. And I'm not going to be the person who tells you that Josh Sweat, Milton Williams, Darius Slay, C.J. Garner-Johnson, Mekhi Becton are useless or frivolous players. But what I am saying is Philadelphia looked at Mekhi Becton and they looked at Lane Johnson and they said, Lane's got way more value to this team than Mekhi Becton does. Mekhi Becton was only ever going to be a certain level of value to an Eagles organization that found him, developed him, and turned him into a viable guard in this league. Nobody thought he could play guard until Jeff Stoutland and the Eagles coaching staff put him out there in that role. So the Eagles were not going to give him a 2-year, $20 million contract. Because in Philadelphia's mind, they're saying, dude, we made you. Good luck. We'll find somebody else. It's what we do. I mean, the Eagles won a Super Bowl championship with Halapuli Vati Vaitai instead of future Hall of Famer Jason Peters at left tackle. Over the years, look at all the guys that played at left guard. Stefan Wisniewski, Isaac Seumalo, now Landon Dickerson. I mean, they went from a future Hall of Fame center and Jason Kelsey to a guy that most fans had no idea who he was in Cam Jurgens, and it worked out well. So I tend to believe that if Philadelphia says, we're going to rework Lane Johnson's contract, and it's going to allow us to give him more money and save more money for us, who am I to argue? Who am I to tell the Philadelphia Eagles that, oh yeah, that's a bad idea, guys. You shouldn't do that. I mean, that would just be silliness. That would be absolutely ridiculous. What this restructure does, for those who don't know, this extension that they're giving Lane Johnson, just to give a little context, the $40 million guaranteed brings down his overall cap number moving forward. And the adding of money takes out some of the dead money moving forward. So now Lane, he's technically signed through 2026, but Philadelphia will, as of right now, have a cap number on their books until 2028. So the Eagles, again, that is the latest story. They are restructured, re-signed Lane Johnson's contract. This comes about an hour after ESPN's Jeremy Fowler reported that Azeez Ojulari, who was a good, not great pass rusher for the New York Giants, basically had to take a below market value deal. This is a win for Philadelphia. And this could be like a Zack Baun type of move, where you bring in a guy who is looked at a certain way, and you see that he may be able to be much more than you thought. And the reason I say more than you thought is because when Ojulari was at Georgia, okay, and he was in the same program as Jalen Carter, Nakobe Dean, Jordan Davis, Nolan Smith, Keely Ringo. He had the same level of development and growth in that program as well. Ojulari led the SEC, which is considered by most to be the best conference of all of college football in sacks, his final year at Georgia. He was top 10 that year in all of D1 college football. He was also number 2 that year in forced fumbles in all of college football. So, you're talking about a guy who actually is a little more than just a regular pass rusher. There's a little more to him than just being a pass rusher. Now, being a pass rusher what Philadelphia needs, by the way, because when you lose Josh Sweat, you got to replace him somehow. And we all knew that Josh Uche was not going to be your best option. He'll be part of a rotation, but he was never going to be your primary guy, him and Nolan Smith rushing off the edges. Ojulari allows you to bring in a guy who in 46 games has not just 22 sacks, but I would argue the more important number is the quarterback hits. The man averages almost a quarterback hit per game. In 46 NFL games registered, he has 37 quarterback hits. 10 of them last year for a Giants team that we all can agree was not very good. So you're talking about a guy in Ojulari who you put him on the defense that Philadelphia has. You put him on the same line as Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis and across from Nolan Smith, and you put him with Vic Fangio. You're taking a guy whose career high in sacks was 8 as a rookie. He had 6 last year. He's had some injury issues, right? 2022, 2023, last year, he has not been healthy. But now you're not asking him to play the maximum number of snaps. Philadelphia has experience managing players who were injured previously. On last year's New York Giants team, Azeez Ojulari was a guy who only appeared in 11 games. And you might be saying, it's really not that much, Josh. No, it's not. But what's significant about this is Philadelphia is not going to ask him to play as many snaps as he did in New York. They're not going to ask him to be the number one option defensively. They are going to ask him to maximize his potential, be a part, and be willing to be a part of a role. And that is the big deal of signing a guy like Ojulari, is because now you're bringing him into a situation where you're saying, we're here to make you productive. We're here to make you your best self. We're not here to just hope for the best with you. No, we have a plan. Remember, with Saquon, he said, part of the reason why I chose Philadelphia is because he said they wanted him to be an offensive weapon and not just a running back. So I'm assuming it's the same thing for Ojulari. They have a distinct and clear plan for how they're going to utilize him. All right, coming up on the other side, Dan and EHC, your text and more, 609-403-0973, your DMs into 973 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Seattle. I'm Josh Hennig, live in the Ocean Casino Resort Studios, and of course, you can see the studios on my YouTube channel at Josh Hennig. Like, subscribe, share with your friends. Back with more Eagles talk next.
Listen to all the match. March Madness is coming to 97.3 ESPN.
With GMF financing to qualified buyers excludes trippers and Corvette excludes prior sales.
It's back. It's Bennett Chevy's most popular event, March Markdowns for the entire month of March. So get to Bennett right now for savings up to 20%. That's right, you get up to 20% off. That's because Bennett sells new Chevys at the true GM supplier employee price, plus gives you all the rebates. So get to Bennett Chevy now and save even more with available 0% financing. Looking for used? Bennett Chevy is South Jersey's largest certified dealer with great savings on every single one. And during March Markdowns, you'll get a minimum 10 grand for the worst clunker towards any pre-owned in stock. That's at least $10,000. Imagine how much you'll get for a good trade. And our non-commissioned sales team is the best. They're paid on your satisfaction, not your budget and how much you spend. So everybody gets our famous no pressure, friendly, and helpful service. Together, let's drive during March Markdowns at Bennett Chevy, Egg Harbor Township, and BennettChevy.com.
Hey, nice job, Pete. I like those clean lines. Fellas, do we have anyone that can get to Greenport today?
At Corey's Landscaping, the staffing plan is in the weeds.
Anthony, we need that leaf blower over here. 3 more new customer requests just came in. Who wants to work some overtime?
He needs to dig up quality landscapers, and fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, it's Mike Gill. Have you checked out the most loved Indian restaurant in South Jersey? The Nizam's Indian Restaurant on Route 40 in Egg Harbor Township is amazing and ready to serve you delicious Indian dishes. NJ.com ranked them the #2 best restaurant in all of New Jersey. At Nizam's, they believe that dining is more than just great food. It's the whole experience. The Nizam's open 7 days a week from 11:30 a.m. to 9:30. Join them for a special lunch buffet on Sundays from 11:30 to 3. Visit thenizams.com for more information.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom!
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from...
We can be twinsies.
...to...
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom.
Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code EARN to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code EARN for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code EARN for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Want to stay out of the dark the next time a storm hits? Then reach out to Calvi Electric, a certified Generac dealer. From installation to maintenance, they're your go-to experts for Generac generators, ensuring your home stays powered through any storm. A Generac home standby generator will automatically restore power to your home during an outage, so your life goes on uninterrupted. Put your trust in Calvi Electric, the premier electrical contractor serving South Jersey for over 115 years. Visit calvielectric.com today and stay ahead of any storm.
Sometimes it feels like the world is moving at hyperspeed and you can't keep up because it's one thing then another. And don't forget the meeting and the yoga class and the dinner reservation. But then you get into the all-new Nissan Murano and you feel the breeze from the panoramic moonroof while the massaging seats melt away the tension of the day. And you realize that sometimes the greatest rush is not rushing at all. Shop the all-new Murano at nissanusa.com. Panoramic moonroof massaging leather appointed seats are available features.
This is the Town Square, New Jersey Info and Weather Network.
Progressive Insurance presents the Sports Flash on 97.3 ESPN. Both the Flyers and the Sixers in action tonight. The Flyers are in Tampa to begin a 5-game road trip, taking on the Lightning. Philadelphia has dropped 6 of 7. They were shut out by the Carolina Hurricanes on Saturday, 5-0, while the Sixers are in Houston tonight to take on the Rockets. Houston has won 6 in a row, while Philadelphia is coming off a 130-125 win on Sunday against the Dallas Mavericks. Philadelphia shot 52% from the floor. It snapped a 3-game losing skid. Quentin Grimes with 28 points. Major League Baseball, the Phillies wrapping up their spring training schedule in Florida. The regular season opener will be on March 27th against the Washington Nationals. Sunday, the Phillies beat Baltimore 12-1. And the 68-team NCAA tournament bracket was released on Sunday. Top seeds Houston, Duke, Auburn, and Florida. Catch all the games right here on 97.3 ESPN. Progressive Insurance, bundle auto and home, renters or condo, and save with Progressive. I'm Tony Desiri, and that's your Sports Flash on 97.3 ESPN.
If you're a do-it-yourselfer, don't miss Power Torque Tools DIY days at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Right now, save $20 on a Power Torque 248-piece mechanics tool set. O Rewards members get a $5 reward. Power Torque professional hand tools come with a lifetime guarantee. Visit your O'Reilly Auto Parts store or O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
From the Townsquare, New Jersey Info and Weather Network, I'm Chief Meteorologist Dan Zarrow. The nicest weather day of the week, it's a tie between tomorrow and Wednesday. The wettest period coming up in the forecast looks like Thursday night. Clearing skies tonight. It's going to be breezy and pretty cold. Low temperature dips to 35 degrees. Tomorrow, sunny and mild, high 62. Wednesday, morning sun, then afternoon clouds. We stay dry, high 61. 62 with late day rain Thursday. Get weather 24/7 wherever you are. Download our free mobile app today.
Save thousands at Matt Blatt Kia. Get out of your old trade today, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth. Go to mattblattkianj.com for more details. That's mattblattkianj.com.
It's gotta be a
Matt Blatt Kia.
This is Game Night with Josh Hennig on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app.
We'll get back to text board in just a bit at 609-403-0973. Your DMs into the 97.3 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Seattle. Don't forget, coming up in about 12 minutes from now, we'll be joined by Absegami High School graduate, undefeated heavyweight fighter Bruce Seldon Jr. ahead of his next bout this Saturday at Tropicana Showroom in Atlantic City. He is one of the 5 undefeated New Jersey fighters who are on the card this Saturday. Of course, Boxing Insider Promotions is back at Tropicana Showroom in Atlantic City. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. Let's start with Dan EHT chiming in at 609-403-0973. Also, you can chime into the show through the 97.3 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Seattle. Dan EHT has 2 different comments. He says, Barkley and Johnson were underpaid. Howie's a Hall of Famer. I think he will figure out everything going forward. You know, and I think that's kind of like my perspective that I was trying to give earlier today. You know, and it's, I know for a lot of people, patience is not something that they are willing to give people the benefit of the doubt for, right? No one's patient when a team goes through a rebuild. No one's patient when a team isn't, you know, making the flashiest moves initially. And so if you're the Philadelphia Eagles, right, you are a team that has a history of building competitive playoff teams. You've been to 3 Super Bowls and won 2 of them in the last 8 years. And Dan EHT leans to my side of the argument more so than some other people, which is if you want to be the person who says right here, right now, in this moment, with this team, in this situation, these people are not good enough compared to last year. You can do that, but also simultaneously say, I trust Howie Roseman to get the job done. 2 of those can be simultaneously true. I can say right now, Philadelphia Eagles are not on the same level as the team from last year, but I also understand the team from last year was not a finished product until August. So I think this is the process of Howie goes through. Howie told everybody weeks ago this offseason will not be a traditional offseason for Philadelphia because the Eagles are trying to take care of their star players. You saw what the Bengals did over the weekend. The Bengals are not a team as good at managing money, cash flow, or the cap. And what they did is they have now sacrificed paying 3 players, and now they're not going to be able to build out the rest of the roster. Philadelphia is saying, we're not going to give all the money to Milton Williams and Josh Sweat. We're going to give it to Saquon. We're going to give it to Zack Baun. We're going to give it to all the other guys, and we're not just going to give it to these couple guys. And that's where a guy like Ojulari comes in. Instead of paying Josh Sweat over $70 million, you give Ojulari a 1-year prove-it deal. And if he proves it, great. If he doesn't, it didn't ruin your salary cap. Now, part of the problem that's going on also is Philadelphia did make a mistake last year. The Bryce Huff signing did not work out. It did not pan out. So either Philadelphia has to trade that contract, or they believe that last year was a fluke. Dan from EHC also goes on to say, the Sixers have more cats than dogs than my neighbor. Their culture is pathetic. They need hungry dogs. They need Howie Roseman. Please save the Sixers, Howie. Well, there's 2 issues with the way the Sixers are ran, okay? Number one, and I know a lot of people like to point to what happened from Sam Hinkie to now. I don't treat what happened 10 years ago as having any consequence on now. I just can't. Because I understand that that was like 4 GMs ago, right? Because right now you have Daryl Morey. Before him, Elton Brand was mostly the man in charge. Before that, it was like Brett Brown and the puppet masters in charge. Before that was Brian Colangelo. Before that was Sam Hinkie. You've been through so many iterations of this roster, of this management. I can't fully blame everything on the current people. Now, if you want to say Daryl Morey should have never given that money to Paul George, all right, maybe. Sixers should have never let Embiid play in the Olympics. Maybe. Sixers should have never brought Embiid back so soon from his knee injury. Maybe. Sixers should have never let Embiid play in that Warriors game that got his knee injured with the way he was laboring up and down the court. Yes, maybe. But the problem is that this is a superstar player in Joel Embiid that you put all your chips in on. And it didn't matter if you signed Paul George or not. The Joel Embiid impact in this franchise has been the detriment. And I don't even know if Howie Roseman can fix that problem. All right, coming aside, we'll take more of your text, 609-403-0973, your DMs into 973 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank. Obviously, coming up next, we'll talk some boxing in Atlantic City here on 973 ESPN. Josh Hennig hanging out with you on a Monday night.
Listen to all the bet. March Madness is coming to 97.3 ESPN.
The Rock Tour, featuring hits from Foreigner, Germany, and Asia, is coming to Ocean Casino Resort in Atlantic City on May 16th. Relive the glory days with legendary artists Lou Graham, Steve Augeri, and John Payne, performing all of their hits, including I Want to Know What Love Is and Don't Stop Believing. Tickets are available at theoceanac.com. Don't miss out on the ultimate 80s rock experience at Ocean Casino Resort. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Things are just better when you switch to Cricket. The sun shines a little brighter. Happy music starts randomly playing. Best of all, you can get iPhone 13 for just $29.99. With the ultra-bright Super Retina display and up to 19 hours of video playback, all on Cricket's super-fast 5G network. See? Isn't that better? Smile, you're on Cricket.
Requires new account imported on $60 plan. First service charge and tax to its sale. $25 activation fee. Terms and restrictions apply. Cricket 5G is not available everywhere. See store for details.
Attention lovebirds, your perfect moment deserves the perfect ring. Get up to 50% off.
during Sage Jewelers' exclusive engagement ring sale.
Discover brilliant, natural, and stunning lab-grown diamonds designs, each crafted to capture the beauty of your forever love. But don't wait, this sale won't last.
Visit Sage Jewelers on Tilton Road in Northfield or shop online at sagejewelers.com. Your love story starts here.
When you switch to Progressive, you could save bundling your home and auto. Then you could put that money towards some of the surprisingly more expensive things in life.
May I help you? I just wanted to request a late checkout, please. Of course. That's $30 per hour for up to 4 hours. Huh. Okay, but if you can offer a late checkout, then that probably means no one is staying in that room. So if it's empty, maybe I can just stay a few extra hours. Oh, aren't you adorable?
Life costs a lot, so bundle and you could save with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing, must-visit shops. And how healthcare offices become the data managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business, powering possibilities.
Now through May 4th, new customers can get started with 150 megabit internet for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, ask how to get up to a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Call today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Requires enrollment and paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account. Early termination fee applies. Equipment, taxes, and other fees extra and subject to change.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
I need new rotors.
When you buy 2 Duralast rotors during our spring sale, you get Duralast brake pads free.
Free?
With the rotors.
Well, that's great. What if I need extra stopping power?
You can upgrade to Duralast Gold pads for just $10.
So Duralast pads are free?
Yep.
And an upgrade is just $10?
That's right. Part of the spring sale at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
I'm an old school Joe. I never lay juice I don't want to lay. I don't hate my money like that. I'd rather lay minus 108 than minus 110, wouldn't you? Prime Sports is New Jersey's full-time reduced juice sportsbook. Download the Prime Sports New Jersey app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com. Get a welcome bonus to match your initial deposit with up to $400 in bonus bets.
Terms and conditions apply. Real money wagers equal to deposit plus bonus required before withdrawal. Visit website for details. Must be 21 and present in New Jersey. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZQuil.
ZQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZQuil Night. Explore our products at ZQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Matt Platt Mitsubishi makes upgrading your ride to a new Mitsubishi super easy. Brand new 24 Outlander SUV, just $29,999. You heard right. A brand new SUV with a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty for under $30,000. That's less than most used SUVs. Plus, 0 down, 0 payments for 90 days, or 0% financing for 60 months. You just sign and drive on all remaining 24, but they won't last. Get yours before they're gone. So bring any trade, and AJ the Trade Man will get you into a new Mitsubishi. Brand new Outlander PHEV, 0 security deposit, and just $399 per month lease. Yep, just sign and drive it home. Matt Platt Mitsubishi wants to finance your future, not your past.
Simply. Mitsubishi.
Rate qualifications exist. Bulletproof credit 1666 per 1,000 finance in stock 2024. Outlander Sports. Not all will qualify. Go to mattplattmitsubishi.com for complete details. Phone call 844-946-3315. Price includes all costs to be paid by consumer, except for licensing, registration, and taxes. Expires 4/4/25. Offers not in combination. Matt Platt Mitsubishi in the heart of Glassboro for 30 years.
It's Phil's opening day at Maynard's Cafe in Margate on Thursday, March 27th. Win Philly's home opener tickets with parking or Metallica at the Link. Visit for lunch, dinner, or brunch on Sundays.
Try Maynard's famous burgers or wings. Stay for the nightlife. Maynard's on Thursday, March 27th for Phil's opening day starting at 2 p.m. There's always something exciting at Maynard's. Grab your crew for an epic time and witness the madness unfold in person. It's going to be wild. Visit Maynard's today, your one-stop destination for fun in Margate.
Now, more Game Night with Josh Hennig on 97.3 ESPN and on the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app, powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City.
Before we check back in the text board at 609-403-0973, your DMs into the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, powered by First Bank of Sea Isle. As promised, joining me live in the studio, of course, this Saturday, boxing returns to Tropicana Atlantic City showroom, and that's where this man will be back in action. One of the undefeateds competing this Saturday at Boardwalk Hall. Boardwalk Hall, Tropicana showroom in Atlanta. I was at Boardwalk Hall last weekend, so I'm still getting that out of my head here. It's a bad job by me. Bruce Seldon Jr., Absegami High School graduate, joins us here in the studio.
How you doing?
Bruce, welcome back. How's it going?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. So before we get into any particulars,
yeah,
it's not every day that you have not one, not two, not three, not four, but 5 New Jersey undefeated fighters.
Yeah.
You know, the last time you and I talked, it was special that it's you and Justin, two really localized undefeated fighters.
Yeah.
But now it's New Jersey on the
yeah.
card. That's got to be another level of like pride going for you, right?
Man, it's a blessing. It is honestly, it's a dope feeling to have, you know, pretty much all the top boxers of the newest guys all on one card, you know, showcasing our skills. You know what I'm saying? It's a dope feeling, and honestly, it's even bigger than just that. It's just putting on for our areas and putting on a great show for the people to, you know, just get excited about watching boxing again, you know. So yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm excited. You know, I wish there was a TV back there so, you know, I could watch some of these fights, because, you know, I'm gonna be in my zones. I can't really see it, but yeah, man, I know we're gonna put on a great show for everybody in attendance.
So right now, for those who don't know, you are 4-0.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you're accumulating the record. You're building.
Yes.
And I made the comment before you came on, because we were talking about in sports, you know, sometimes fans are impatient, right? About how fans, like, they kind of get to a point where they're like, you know, they want their team, they just hurry it up and be good, right?
Yeah.
Or hurry it up and make them happy. You know, people want instant gratification, right? You know, people want their macaroni and cheese in a minute or less, you know?
right.
So for you, have you had to apply that same principle to yourself of patience in your development?
Of course, absolutely. Even being the fact that I'm kind of on the fast track right now, because, you know, my first fight was last June,
right?
And we already 4-0, about to be 5-0. So, you know, even though we are moving fast, you know, at the same time we are pacing ourselves. And you can't rush it too fast. You know, all that trying to blow up quick gonna get you retired. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we definitely, and this is, you know, the fighting game. So, you know, there's so much to learn. There's so much to practice and improve on. So, you know, you can't really skip those steps. You know what I'm saying? So you really gotta take your time, learn what you're supposed to learn, and apply it, and then get used to applying it, and then move on from there.
You mentioned about how, you know, you are on a bit of a fast track. You know, not a literal fast track like we're trying to sprint you to the top immediately, but a more of a quicker pace than maybe some other people would, right?
Of course.
For you, it's been a short time.
Yeah.
Okay. What has been a lesson that has stood out to you the most that maybe before you got into this, you didn't realize, and now that you're in the middle of it, you're like, I get it now, or I see something I didn't see before?
You know, just you really have to fully, and I mean, this kind of goes with what I was saying, but when you're really in it, you have to fully dedicate your entire life to this. You know, you know, at one point I had a construction job, and even in the beginning I had to let that go because it was interfering with this a little bit too much.
Right.
And you know, you really have to love this sport, love what you're doing, especially like you said, we're not on a sprint to get to the top, but at the same time, I have a fight every other month. So as soon as we get done one, we're right back in camp for the next one. So, you just got to keep that ball rolling. And you really got to love this because it's not easy. It's not easy at all. You know what I'm saying? I was telling you earlier in the gym today, it was like 91 degrees. We're in there dying, you know what I'm saying? But it's all for the purpose of getting better and improving and learning and, just getting through the fire. So when it's fight night, everything's easy. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Bruce Seldon Jr. joining us here on 97.3 ESPN 4-0. Of course, Absegami High School graduate back in action this Saturday, Tropicana Showroom in Atlantic City. 7 p.m. is when the action starts. Of course, you want to get there a little early so you get your seat, you're comfortable, you're settled in for the whole fight card.
And hit me up for tickets. Bruce Seldon Jr. On Instagram. Bruce Seldon Jr. on Facebook. We have tickets for sale, $80 a pop. Hit me up. I got a few left, and come out support.
Shameless plug.
Yeah, I got to.
No, but that's what you're here for. You're here to promote.
Exactly.
And I'm glad you did that because I think that is something a lot of people don't always understand.
Yeah.
In any business,
mm-hmm.
because you are a business
Absolutely.
at this point. Okay, being a professional fighter, you are your business. You are your brand.
Absolutely.
And so, one of the things people understand is that people have this attitude of well, when are you off the clock? And you're like, I'm not really off the clock.
Never.
Because it's not just what you do in the gym, it's what you do with everything else because it all adds up.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you said that because I think there's a lot of young people who want the success without the actual work.
Yeah, you got to put in the footwork. Whatever that may be, you know what I'm saying? Granted, luckily nowadays, we have social media, so that makes things a little easier. But, still, you got to get out the trunk sometimes too. You know what I'm saying?
If I can jump in.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was watching an interview, and this is not exactly on topic, but you kind of opened a door, and it's my show, and I'm going to talk about it.
Okay.
So I was watching, Anthony Mackie, right?
Yeah.
So I was watching him do an interview on The Pivot with Ryan Clark.
I was watching that the other day.
And the moment he starts listing all the actors who've fizzled out,
mm-hmm.
and it hit me when he said it, he's like, these guys stopped working at a certain point.
Yeah.
He says they got to a level of fame and success, and they were like, I'm good.
Yeah.
And now no one sees them, no one talks about them.
Hears about them, man.
And he talked about the story of how Denzel Washington is still on Broadway acting.
Yeah.
And he said, Denzel keeps honing the craft and developing and growing and evolving. And he said, that's why Denzel's where he is.
Yeah.
And he named 7, 8 dudes.
Yeah.
And he's like, and all these dudes I used to know, you can't find them anymore.
Yeah, Michael B. Jordan, all them guys.
Right, well, Omar Epps,
Omar Epps and all that.
I mean, it was a crazy list because he just rattles them off.
Yeah.
And it was you could tell this idea was pent up in his mind because he's still working.
Facts.
And a lot of these other guys aren't. So it kind of goes back to what you were saying is it may sound ridiculous. I'm in a gym with no air conditioning right now, but you're developing the habit that's going to keep you working.
Facts.
When somebody else might not be.
Facts. And just getting used to being uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that plays into so many different parts of life. Like today in the gym, very uncomfortable. But you know what? It's not that's more uncomfortable than say going door to door telling everybody, hey, I got a ticket for you, saying come watch me fight. You know what I'm saying? So, definitely, taking all these things and utilizing them for sure. And like you said, we gotta really promote ourselves because we're our own brand. And no one else is going to support us like that. And no one else is going to support us if they don't see us supporting ourselves.
Right, because no one's going to do it for you.
No one's going to do it for you.
But everyone wants to be a part of the ride.
Exactly.
People want to be a part of when they see you progressing, but they don't always want to help you progress.
For sure. Definitely. And I'm seeing that, in a few aspects of my career at this point right now. And it's just giving me that hunger to just do it myself. Because that's all I really need.
Well, hungry dogs run faster.
Yeah, exactly. So that was good.
I stole that from the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah,
still,
okay.
It still works.
Dope.
Before I let you go, Bruce Seldon Jr. again, undefeated, Absegami High School graduate, back in action, 4-0 to be 5-0 this Saturday, Tropicana Showroom in Atlantic City. Not giving anything away, okay? Because we don't want to do that. But is there something that from fight 1 to now that you have said, I have gotten so much better at? Like, is there something about like how you train?
Everything.
Well, everything's pretty broad, okay?
Everything. I would say my jab has gotten better. My wind has gotten better. My my confidence. My confidence has gotten better. You know, just everything. Everything is just, even I remember my 2 fights ago. The crowd. Just hearing that crowd. You know, I'm starting to get used to that, and it's not affecting me as much as it was. So I just feel like as a whole, I'm getting more comfortable into what's going on, and I'm just feeling more confident in my abilities and, you know, the things I know I can do. You know, at first I wasn't really shooting my jab as much, and now I feel like I'm shooting my jab a lot more. I'm not sure if you were at my last fight. You know, I wanted to knock dude's head off, and I got winded pretty fast. And now I see myself putting in that same level of intensity in like sparring, and I'm good. I'm still good. So you know, my wind is for sure getting better. So you know, I just feel like I'm just evolving altogether as a fighter.
Plug the socials again.
Bruce Seldon Jr. From both Instagram and Facebook. You know what I'm saying? We got tickets once again, $80. You know, and also look at my stablemate, my coach Julio Sanchez. You know, his son Julio Sanchez III is fighting. You know what I'm saying?
Pro debut.
Crown Jewels Boxing is the Instagram and on Facebook. Yeah, hit us for tickets, man. We're coming to put on a good show for you guys. Thank you.
Appreciate you coming in here. Bruce Seldon Jr. joining me here in studio here on 97.3 ESPN. Now, unboxing related, before I let you go.
Yeah, let me hear it.
I got to ask you.
What's up?
All right. Because I'm having this conversation with somebody over the weekend, and I'm explaining to them about how team sports are different than individual sport.
Facts.
About how it's a mentality.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a similarity, is that you just mentioned the confidence.
Mm-hmm.
If there's something that you could tell anybody, just in general, that like, hey, if you want to be successful, how do you get that confidence? Like, because I've always said it's repetition.
Yeah.
Right? It's the idea that Bruce Lee said, I don't fear the man who knows 1,000 strikes. I fear the man who practiced one strike 10,000 times.
Yeah,
you know, so
absolutely.
like, you know, when do you ever watch like other guys fight or other sports or anything and kind of look at them and be like, I see the confidence in that guy. I don't see the confidence in that guy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All the time. All the time. I see just any sport. Let's just say basketball.
Sure.
You know,
yeah.
The confidence. It always blows my mind when I see someone catch the ball and shoot from half court. Like that has to be like you are very confident in your ability to really in front of all these people just throw it from half court. That's crazy to me. But you know, you practice that. You keep repeating that same shot again and again and again and again until it doesn't matter who's watching. You know in your heart, you know in your mind, I'm going to sink this shot. So that's with everything, no matter what aspect of life you in. You know, if you just keep doing it and don't listen to what people are saying and just focus on, I'm going to perfect this the best way that I know how to and the way I can.
Right, the way you can.
The way I can.
Because you can't be somebody else. You got to be the best of yourself.
Myself, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's to me, that's all it is. You hit it right on the nail. It's just repetition. Keep doing it again and again and again and again until it's just like breathing. You know what I'm saying? Don't even think about it.
Because then once it gets to the point where you don't even think about it,
yeah.
Guess what? You can learn something else.
Exactly.
Now you can add to the tools.
Exactly. You know, you got to add to your arsenal. Definitely want to add to your arsenal. And yeah, and just keep building from there. And I feel like that's how you just grow in life, you know? You don't just get good at one thing and then for the rest of your life you can just do that forever, you know. you gotta keep improving, you know. You gotta keep elevating your game.
Yeah, that's why Ronda Rousey got retired.
Exactly.
All she had was the arm bar, and she never evolved.
And then you saw how she ended. She ended bad. Like that was bad.
No,
salute to her, but you know I don't want to take a shot at her because you know everybody that gets in the ring.
Listen, I'm the bad
I got
guy.
My respect.
I can do that. Okay.
I got my respect for anyone that jumps in the ring, MMA or boxing. But you know, you gotta keep building. You gotta keep doing
Listen,
more.
I'm like Scarface. You know, it's like, you know, I always tell the truth even when I lie. Okay? You know, let me be the bad guy. Bruce Seldon Jr. keep being the good guy. This Saturday, Tropicana, Atlantic City showroom. Of course, Bruce Seldon Jr. on Instagram and Facebook.
Yes, sir.
Hit him up, give him a follow, because he's more than just a boxer. He's trading people too out there. So
Yeah, and even that, you know what I'm saying? I'm still getting better with that. You know, I feel like all the people that have been training with me, they are also seeing my elevation in that world too. You know what I'm saying? Because really, I'm taking everything that I'm learning in the gym while I'm getting trained from my coach, and then kind of applying that into, you know, my training. So, you know, the better I get as a boxer, the better I get as a trainer at the same time. So, you know, yeah, we're doing that. We're doing a lot, man. We're doing a lot. You know, now we're about to start getting into like the business aspect of it, as far as, you know, we're getting merch going, sponsorships and everything going. So, you know, we're definitely building this brand that we have.
Well, speaking of doing a lot, so you're going to see something right now that most people never get to see.
What's that?
Which is the behind the scenes of how our radio contest works.
Okay.
Okay.
All
You
right.
ready for this?
Yeah, let me see it.
You ready to either like roll your eyes and walk out of the room, or maybe tell me I'm nuts?
All right, let's see what we talking about.
All right, the sounder, that means callers 6 and 7 right now, 609-573-3776. Callers 6 and 7, you are qualified for the big ticket giveaway next Thursday, Maynard's in Margate, where Mike Gill, the Sports Bash, will be broadcasting live from 2 to 6 p.m. Callers 6 and 7, you can win either Phillies opening day tickets or Metallica at Lincoln Financial Field Memorial Day weekend, but you must qualify first at 609-573-3776. Callers 6 and 7, you are in for the big contest next Thursday, Maynard's in Margate. Again, you must qualify, and then you must present the win next Thursday, March 27th. If you didn't qualify now, you qualify again tomorrow morning when you hear the sounder during the morning show on Unsportsmanlike. I'm Josh Hennig. Have a great night, everybody.
Save thousands at Matt Blatt Kia. Get out of your old trade today, even if you owe thousands.